A very good afternoon and welcome to Weekend at 1. It is now 1 o'clock prompt right here in Nairobi, Kenya. My name is Michael Gitonga. This is Weekend at 1 and it starts now. Let's take a look at the highlights. Officials of the KMPDU are at the moment seeking divine intervention at the Nairobi chapel as imprisonment looms large. Top African leaders in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia, to lobby for the candidate ahead of AU chairperson vote. Interior CS Joseph Nkaiseri warns political aspirants against inciting people over land issues. A very good afternoon. My name is Michael Gitonga. Our sign language interpreter this afternoon is William Silla. Lobbying for the position of African Union Commission chairperson intensify in Ethiopia capital Addis Ababa today, just 1 day before the elections. Kenya, which is seeking to win the seat through the Foreign Affairs Secretary Amina Mohamed, will also not be left behind. Amina is hoping to replace outgoing Dlamini Zuma, who is in the position currently. Our reporter Duncan Kaemba is in Addis Ababa and now joins us live for an update on this story. All right, and as soon as we are able to raise him, we shall have him live, giving us an update on what is happening now. Wiper Democratic Movement leader, Honorable Kalonzo Musyoka, now says peace in Somalia can only be realized by the Somalis themselves, but not by use of military force. Kalonzo says time has come for those nations who contribute to the formation of AMISOM to rethink their stay in Somalia, adding that the two attacks in the camp show a lack of proper intelligence.
Mwaka jana askari 170 wanachinjwa kama kuku nje ya Somalia. Leo jana jioni asubuhi wakienda kwa maombi wakachinjwa tena. Mumbekezi na leo tumetoa kofia tukakumbuka vijana wetu ambao wameuawa wakitetea nchi yao. Lakini lazima nao uongozi wa nchi yao wawe wakijua kwamba huwezi ukapata suluhu ya shida ya Somalia kwa kutumia nguvu za majeshi. Shida na suluhu ya Somalia itapatikana na Wasomali wenyewe.
A family in Maralal town in Samburu County is mourning the death of their loved one who was among the soldiers killed in the attack in Somalia. The family of Abdallah Aziz say the family is yet to receive any communication from the army. The family says they received news from a colleague who called them yesterday to pass the information. They say some members of the family have already gone to Nairobi and have identified the body of their beloved.
Ingekuwa bora wa Somali watatue mambo yao. Kwa hivyo sisi kama community ya Waislamu tungeomba amiri mkuu wetu ambayo ni Mheshimiwa Rais Uhuru Jomo Kenyatta, tungeombe tafadhali atoe vijana wetu kutoka huku ili wawe wakilinda mpaka yetu.
Kifo yake kwa mpigo kubwa sana, kwani imekuwa tegemeo ya mtoto wake ambaye yuko shule. Kwa hivyo hiyo gap ameacha itakuwa ni kubwa sana, ni unless serikali wafanye juu chini wamsaidie huyo mtoto. Imemaffect ki psychology. Saizi mtoto wako down sana, mpaka saizi anahisi ni mgonjwa. Ametolewa shule kwa sababu hajiwezi saizi.
Let's go back to one of our top stories where lobbying for the position of African Union Commission chairperson intensify in Ethiopia capital Addis Ababa today, just 1 day before the elections. Kenya, which is seeking to win the seat through Foreign Affairs Secretary Amina Mohamed, was also not left behind. Amina is hoping to replace outgoing Dlamini Zuma by winning that position. Our reporter Duncan Kaemba is in Addis Ababa and now joins us live for an update on that story.
Few hours before that crucial election takes place tomorrow here at the AU headquarters in Addis, a high-stake election that has a new twist. Of course, we know that the Kingdom of Morocco has applied that they be allowed to join the Commission or the AU before that election takes place. The Sahrawi Arab Democratic Republic, a neighbor to Morocco, has vehemently opposed that, and it appears Kenya could as well have taken that position. We happened to talk to CS Najib Balala, who is here leading the Kenyan delegation, who told us what could as well be interpreted as Kenya equally opposed to Morocco being allowed to join the AU before that crucial election. Do you think Morocco will be a spoiler?
Well, first of all, I think the understanding up to last night is let's sort out with the issues of African Union and the issues of the elections, and then we can discuss with the issue of Morocco joining back the African Union.
CS Balala says intense lobbying is in top gear, and with peak, they are continuing to rally more members to their side.
Well, we have put a strategy in place that was very effective, and so far we are optimistic. But elections are elections, they are unpredictable. You don't know what will happen. But we are certain this is the time, it's Kenya's time. And it's not just about Kenya, it's about transforming the African Union as well as being effective in social development for Africa.
Interestingly, it appears member states are lobbying in terms of regional blocs. Of course, we know that Kenya is banking on the EAC community. And then, of course, other candidates from their regional blocs are also banking on their blocs. As of what CS Balala has confirmed, it will depend on who rallies a better bloc that has more numbers to their side. How are things shaping up? Of course, we know that Chad, Senegal could be giving Kenya a run for their money. Have you lobbied enough in terms of the assurance from some unpredictable members within blocs like SADC, EAC?
Well, we are aware about the candidates, but definitely I can tell you we are going to go on the second round. And then the choice is between the two, and then the member states will decide who will be the chair of the African Union Commission.
For more on the latest developments here, we'll keep you updated in our subsequent bulletin. From Addis Ababa, Ethiopia, my name is Duncan Hemba. Over to you, Michael Gitonga.
Thank you very much, Duncan Kaimba, who is reporting from Addis Ababa on, the AU chair that Kenya is hoping to scoop. Now, let's move on to another story. A section of plot owners in the outskirts of Narok town have complained over alleged grabbing of a section of their plots by sons of those that bought the land 35 years ago. The landowners claim that the move can easily spark off land clashes in the area. The 125 under the Oloipito plot owners group, who addressed journalists in Narok, say they bought the plots measuring 100 by 100 feet, Olopito plot number 788 in the year 1985, and have never got the value of their plots due to the protracted court cases. Interior CS Joseph Nkaiseri has warned aspirants and the entire community against using land issues to incite the Maasai community.
Wanasema tutarudisha mashamba ya Masai. My friend, kama umeuza shamba, and I am a Kenyan who bought it, you can only get that shamba if I sell it to you with a profit. Kama hujauza unanyang'anywa, utarudishiwa.
Ule mtoto wangu aliuawa, kijana alikuwa wa miaka 22. Akakutwa nyumba tu na Mungu akasaidia, wengine wakatoroka sababu wangeoa wote. Nikakatakatiwa mtoto wangu hivi na mikuki ya somo, na siku hiyo waliua watu 7 hapa.
Children of one school in Nyeri got a chance to understand what democratic elections are all about. The pupils of Mount Kenya Academy in Nyeri chose their school leaders in an election that was conducted by officials of the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission. Our senior reporter Karen Derry witnessed the interesting IEBC-conducted school election and brings us that story.
One by one, the young ones queued at the polling station, patiently awaiting their turn to cast a vote. It was as serious a business as it seemed. The presence of officials of IEBC was an indicator of the weight of the student council elections here at the Mount Kenya Academy Junior School in Nyeri. This being an election year made it all the more real for the 450 pupils who participated in the hotly contested elections. complete with election posters pasted on the signboard to woo potential voters. The school took a chance at teaching the students matters democracy, for the students are, after all, a product of the society and need to learn about the significance of elections, and more so that they can be done peacefully and truthfully. Amid the excited chants and murmurs, the young ones were determined to get it right. Never mind that perhaps not all quite understood the intensity of these elections or all the rules to be followed. The ballot boxes here in one of 3 polling stations announced what vote would be cast. By secret ballot, the pupils filled out their preferred candidates' names. The elections, similar to the upcoming national elections, had pupils choosing their own prefects. The positions were for president, deputy president, governor, senator, and MP. IEBC facilitated the school with ballot boxes and papers.
The Minister of Education has asked that there should be student government, and we want to be among the first ones to make it work. We are very passionate about children's rights and the fact that education should boost those rights and make them understand their boundaries, what is possible, what is good, and what is not good.
According to the Basic Education Act 2013, the students are supposed to elect their own leaders who are going to govern them for the next 1 year. So this was the day we gave them 2 weeks to campaign, put their posters all around, and elect their leaders democratically. So this is a demonstration to the nation that election can be held very peacefully without necessarily, getting into violence.
The IEBC returning officer Madeira, Charles Minor, said the commission was glad to help the school out as this was a chance to shape young minds.
We came because we felt this is a very great initiative, and we feel that schools should take this direction so that the young people can go in and cast their votes without violence, without insults, without threats, without intimidation. And this is a very, very excellent thing that I've seen here.
We decided to organize this because it comes from the ministry, whereby we need to nurture democracy among our children.
I told you, I would repay.
Educationists say that education is not all about completing the syllabus or being solely academic oriented. It is about nurturing the child holistically and making them all round by building their confidence and teaching them to be decision makers and solution finders.
We have virtues for every term that we expect students to make presentations about during the assemblies, and our long-term objective is to ensure that these virtues are then reflected in their daily lives and that we are creating global citizens that can operate intelligently all over the world.
A section of the parents were here as observers, just like in a normal election.
This is a new dispensation that we have in Kenya. I wish it would spread to the other schools. And it's a change of culture taking.
By involving students, they own the process more. This type of elections at Mount Kenya Academy Junior School have been held for the 2nd consecutive year. Carol Nderi, KT News, Nyeri County.
Kano leaders in West Pokot County have faulted the Jubilee government for concentrating on voter hunting registration campaign and failing to provide food for hunger-stricken Kenyans. Led by Senator John Leng Nyangopu and Civil Aviation Chairman Samuel Pogisho, the leaders criticized the national government for directing a lot of resources to the voter registration drive, and yet millions of Kenyans are facing starvation.
Aibu hii inaitwa njaa. Aibu. Sisi kuja hapo kuonekana kama sisi hapana wa Kenya. Ati mpaka sasa inatangazwa chakula ipelekewe wale. Kwani what happened to early warning mechanisms za Kenya? Kitu gani ilichukua early warning mechanisms? Ile tunaanza kujua kwamba mwezi fulani itakuwa mbaya. Ilikuwaje? Tulikuwa tumelala wapi? Serikali ilikuwa inafanya nini? Ama hiyo ndio sababu ya kuwa na watu katika wizara ambao hawajui mambo ya njaa?
Niwaambie, ile njaa ndio watu wa West Pokot ni hatari. Tukienda Turkana je, shida. Tukienda Samburu je, shida. East Pokot shida. Tunataka niombe serikali kuu ya Kenya kwa heshima wakimbie ile mbio inaonekana kutusaidia watu wasikwishe.
And still on matters politics, we have the opposition leader Raila Odinga, who is in Kisumu, and would like to now cross over to our reporter Harold Odhiambo, who is in Kisumu, to just give us an update. Good afternoon, Harold. Thank you for joining us this afternoon. Kindly just give us a picture of what's happening in Kisumu currently.
Okay, thank you very much, Michael. My name is Kevin Ogutembia. We are right here at Kolwen in Kisumu County. Where called leader Raila Amolo Odinga is meeting elected leaders. Probably it's a closed-door meeting, and the obvious guess is that it is all about the elections and registration so far, given the numbers that have not been so good in this region. So right now in Kolwen in Nyakach sub-county in Kisumu County, we have about 5 governors, not about 5 governors, but 5 governors. That is Siaya Governor Cornera Sanga, Kisumu Governor Jack Ranguma, Homa Bay Governor Okoth Obado, Nyamira Governor Nyagarama, together with, and lastly, we have the Homa Bay Governor, that is. So as the meeting is going on here, we also have a voting exercise going on right behind me. We have IEBC officials. We have Wananchi next to me here. So I'm joined here by my fellow reporter, Harold Odhiambo. Sorry for that. Harold Odhiambo is here, and he's going to give us more about what has been going on around here. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you, Kevin Obutu. Basically, what is happening here right now is that ODM leader Raila Odinga is meeting a section of leaders from Nyanza. Basically, almost all leaders are present here, leaders from governors, MPs, and also women representatives, and also the leadership at the county assemblies here. So basically, when we came here, when the Prime Minister came, he refused to talk to, he secluded some of the leaders and only started with a closed-door meeting with the governors. There have been a lot of concerns that in this region so far, in the Nyanza region, the turnout for the voter registration exercise has not been that impressive. Members, a section of the leaders we talked to when we came here was saying that currently the lines of people looking for identification cards is longer than those who are registering for IDs. So basically, in the meeting they're having today, is they're just trying to come up with a way to make the best out of the 2 weeks that is remaining in the mass voter registration exercise. Yeah, so basically that's what is happening here. They also invited IBC officials who are also currently doing registration of residents in this region. Yeah, that's what we have from here. Yeah.
So, Michael, as you have been able to get from my colleague Harold, as we are waiting for the deliberation that is going right now, we are obviously expecting an address by Code Leader Raila Odinga. Wananchi are also here expecting something from him. I'm sure most of them that are around here have already voted, have already registered as voters, and those who are also going on. So back to you, Michael. That's all that we have from Kolwen in Nyakach sub-county in Siaya County.
Our reporters right there in Kolwen in Kisumu, and well, updating us on what's happening. Let's now move on to another story. Scores of residents turned up for a free medical camp in Madera, Nyeri County. The high number of patients was attributed to the current doctors' strike. Over 1,000 people estimated to have turned up for the Iriene ward and camp that was organized by 10 doctors from Medinfo, Africa. The organizers of the camp were working hand in hand with IEBC officials to have many people as possible get treatment as well as register as voters. Apart from checking the patient's blood sugar and blood pressure, the doctors checked for signs of cervical cancer in women, and men below 50 years did a prostate cancer check. Women who were found to have mild infections were treated, while others were referred to the health facilities in Karatina.
Many medics, and so far we have registered over 3,000 people, and we're using this forum to also register people for elections. And we are taking the message home, and so far we've registered over 50 people. We have been going around Madera with the medical camps and also sensitizing people on the importance of being a registered voter. We have been in Kericho, we have been in Gekubo, and just last weekend we were in PCA Dimaine, which is in Konyo ward. So we are taking the services to the people on the ground.
All right, this is Weekend at 1. We're going to take a short break, but we'll be right back. So do stay with us right here on KTN News. And that's it from Weekend at 1. Thank you for staying with us right here. Well, from my co-host and sign language interpreter, William Silla, and myself, we wish you a grand and a great afternoon. But do stay with us right here on KTN News. We've got Echo Africa coming up next. Do have yourself a productive afternoon.